What's up, Men's Physique fans, and welcome back to another video. Now, in full transparency, I wasn't even going to make a video this week, but there is so much going on in the Men's Physique division, and there is no way that we couldn't talk about it. So I'm going to apologize in advance if you hear a little bit of nasally or maybe even a cough here and there, but I'm telling you guys right now, it's weeks like this that make Men's Physique so damn exciting. We have one of the GOATs of Men's Physique in Jeremy Buendia going against a rising star in the Men's Physique division in Ben Quill. We have a three-time champion in Brandon Hendrickson going against our 8th ranked men's physique athlete in the world, in his own country. And Ricardo Sanet snags the last qualifying opportunity of the year after dominating at the Better Bodies Classic. And Ryan Terry puts the entire division on notice that he is not going anywhere. So it's safe to say we have a lot to catch up on. But before we get there, I wanted to remind you guys that I'm now taking on one-on-one coaching clients. If you or a friend is looking to step on stage for the first time, get nationally qualified, or simply focus on maximizing your fullest potential. If you're not happy with the previous packages you put on stage and you're looking for a different perspective, all you guys have to do is click the link in my bio. I can promise you it will not be easy, but it will be worth it. And now that we got that out of the way, I want you guys to sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. They want to take it all from me, so I give what it takes. Whole life been a miracle, seen everything but a cape. Why would I stop now? Found everything on a journey, but another way. Look, I'm not. This has to be one of the most exciting weekends in the men's physique division over the last decade. In one weekend, we have 2 Olympia champions, our current 8th, 9th, 11th, and 15th ranked Olympians, and a 7-time Pro Show winner and a 5-time Pro Show winner competing all in the same weekend. So let's break down each of these head-to-head battles, starting off with what will be the most exciting face-off of the weekend in Jeremy Buendia versus Ben Quill at the Sasquatch Pro. So I'm gonna do my best to try to eliminate all biasness and of course hype going into this show. There's so much excitement surrounding this battle, so much excitement surrounding the return of Jeremy Buendia after what was a disappointing showing at the 2023 Olympia, and there's so much momentum coming from the Ben Quill camp with the updates that he has been posting. When the competitors list came out for the show, I put on my Instagram story, who do you guys think is going to win this battle? Is it going to be one of the greatest of all times in Jeremy Buendia, or is it going to be the rising star in Ben Quill? And the results came back at an even 50-50 split. Now, the last time Jeremy stepped on stage, he was the 8th ranked men's physique athlete in the world, even though the look that he brought was simply underwhelming, because at one point we thought he could even go into the show winning. But let's be real, even an 8th place finish at the Olympia is not bad, especially after all that time being off on the stage. And we also can address the fact that he just wasn't the best version of him on that day. But the recent updates that we've been seeing from Ben Quill, our current 9th ranked men's physique athlete in the world, it's safe to say that he's not going to be 9th this year. I think most people can sit there and say that Ben is going to move up at this year's Olympia. And with the updates that we have seen, not only did he add a lot of improvements in his back, the density through his chest, but this man's conditioning is looking already next level. So when I saw the last physique updates from Jeremy Buendia, my jaw dropped. Not only is he looking absolutely peeled, you can see him flexing his oblique, even though it was like a millisecond of a video, we all got the picture. He's looking absolutely insane, and he's confident because Jeremy Buendia has never stepped on a men's physique stage outside of the Olympia since 2014. Let that sink in. Since 2014, Jeremy Buendia has only competed at the Olympia. But now, going into his last ride, his final season, he's going all out, and he's looking to make a statement. Take a listen to what he just said.
I'm putting it in my head. I'm going into the show to win. It's going to be some stiff competition. I know there's a few guys that are doing this show. I know Andre Ferguson's doing this show. I know you guys all know how bad I want to beat him again. This is my way of responding to all the negative critique I've gotten from some of these guys. I'm not going to do it with my words. I'm going to do it with my actions. I'm going to do it on stage. I'm going to do it with my physique. What I always say, I'm getting ready to shut some mouths. So these guys need to come with a big appetite because they've spoken a lot of words that they have to eat.
Now, there is no doubt that there's a lot of excitement surrounding Jeremy Buendia going into the show. But this is a league about what have you done for me lately. And lately, Ben Quill has been the rising star in the men's physique division. We have seen dramatic physique updates. We have seen insane improvements. And not to mention, this man is hungrier than we've ever seen before. We have already heard him saying, my intentions is not just to go to the Olympia and move up. My intentions is to win the damn show. So with a mindset like that, with the work ethic that he's seemingly showing online, there's no doubt that this man is looking to turn the page on a 9th place finish to move up into that top conversation. And the first step is to beat the Jeremy Buendias, because Jeremy is almost in a limbo phase. Like, if you ask
a handful of different people. You can say Jeremy Buendia can either be first place or he could be 16th place. There is a wide gap because there's so much unknown. Is he improved from the 2023 package? Will he actually peak properly? That's to be seen. But the one thing I will say, when I take a step back and look at things simplistic and try to take the hype and the emotion out of it, because I am friends with Ben Quill, but I have respected Jeremy Buendia and known him on a personal level for years. But when I just close my eyes and simply think of the physique to physique and I compare it, I just see less holes in Ben Quill's physique. Now, keep in mind, that's if the improvements translate to the stage, right? We don't judge a show based off of Instagram updates, but having an opportunity to see Ben and seeing the improvements that he's making, I'm leaning more towards Ben for this win. It's going to be one hell of a battle. It's going to be close as can be, but I'm telling you guys right now, if Ben is simply improved from what he brought last year, which it's very clear that he seemingly is, I just don't see how Jeremy Buendia is going to be able to stand next to Ben's structure, his conditioning, his fullness in the new muscle tissue that he's added, and his balance from front to back. I mean, I think it's overall just going to be more overwhelming. And not to mention, Ben is the best poser in the men's physique division, which is absolutely going to help because this is going to be a show of margins and whoever peaks the best on that stage. But Ben has also had issues in the past where he always tends to show up better at the second show, which he should, but is that going to be enough to beat Jeremy Buendia at the first show of the year? With the new whole qualification system, there's going to be a lot of people doing earlier shows, trying to get points, and just kind of be a little bit more strategic about the way they go about it. But the reality is, I don't even think Ben needs to be strategic at this point. I think Ben is going to be a favorite in the majority of the shows that he shows up and does, and I think here, there's no different. Ben Quill versus Jeremy Buendia is going to be a box office attraction. There's no doubt. It's safe to say I'm going to have to order a lot of live streams this weekend because not only do we have the Sasquatch Pro, but we have the Huangji China Pro. And who's going to be there? Our 3-time Mr. Olympia champion, aka my biggest fan. And then we have Carlos Ocran, the current 8th ranked men's physique athlete in the world and the man known for having one of the best, if not the best, back in the men's physique division. And then, who? In his hometown, Hunji Shan, our current 11th ranked men's physique athlete in the world. I'm going to apologize in advance. There's a 100% chance I just butchered your name, but this man was a rising star as well in the men's physique division. Going from unknown to 11th in the world is no small feat, and he is not coming for anything less than a win. And this one is going to be a battle. Now, the recent physique updates from Brandon Hendrickson was absolutely insane. In the last episode, we talked about how his fullness, the roundness is coming back, but now you're seeing his fullness match the conditioning, and there's no doubt in my mind that though this might not be the best version of Brandon Hendrickson, that he is going to take this show simply based off of his overwhelming dominant front shot. There's nobody who's going to have his symmetry. There's nobody who's going to have his conditioning, and there's nobody who's going to have the balance in that front shot. But the door is going to be left open with Carlos Ocran because there's a 100% chance that he will take the back show without a doubt. Like, face the curtains, Carlos Ocran is the winner. And this is men's physique. That is 50% of what the judges are looking for. What a lot of people might forget because of how exciting the actual show was, at the Pittsburgh Pro, we saw Carlos Ocran take the stage. And who else was there? Brandon Hendrickson. And Brandon plays 4th. And we all can attest to the fact that wasn't the best version of Brandon by a mile. But he still beat our current 8th ranked men's physique athlete in the world. And that's granted when Carlos came here, but now it's Brandon going there. So maybe the travel could have thrown some things off, maybe. But the reality is, Brandon looks significantly improved. His flow between his front shot and the muscle groups in the front shot are absolutely insane. His core is ridiculous. His conditioning is ridiculous. And his bubbliness and roundness is back in compared to what it was at the Pittsburgh Pro. So even though I do think this is going to be an exciting battle, I do think this is going to be a battle that is the clear win for our current 3-time Mr. Olympia champion in Brandon Hendrickson. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Is there a chance? Like, is there a sliver of hope for the hometown heroes to come through and shock the entire world? Make sure you comment below. We just found out that the Olympia qualification standards are going to be changing. And it's those people who are in shape, in prep, in a good head place, and have an opportunity to run it, we're going to have the best chance of getting to the Olympia and have the heads up of getting to the Olympia, because now everybody who's in their off season are not going to have an opportunity to say, oh shit, okay, I got to hurry up, I got to prep, I got to do X, Y, and Z. No, these guys are already ready, and they're already bringing it, and they're going to war early, and I'm excited to watch. This isn't just another physique update from our current champion. This right here, this is a statement. The song that Ryan attached to this insane physique update is called Champion by Nicole Serrano. And though I can't really play the song just because of copyright reasons, Ryan chose to play the part of the song that says, "Nothing can stop me. I'm the champion and I'll be waiting for you," sending a direct message to all of the competitors that no one is safe. And after seeing these physique updates, I think the message is very loud and very clear, because this man, he's motivated, he's hungry, he hears all of the talking. And though he might not be a talker himself, he's about that action and he's ready for it. And when you take a look at just the physique update and you break it down for what it is, I just don't even know how to put it into words. Like, I think we're all on the same page when we're looking at this and say, yeah, this year, this has to be Ryan. And everybody knows I'm a fan of Ali. I love Ali. But again, Ryan has the least weaknesses. I have seen impressive physique updates over the last couple of months leading into the Olympia. And I have said it, there's a lot of talent going into this show and it's wide open. But I think we're on the same page after seeing this physique update, because this is not just conditioned. This is not just peeled. This is not just shredded. This is not just inside out. This is just not skinless, fat-free, shredded, peeled, everything times two. But this is the best version of Ryan Terry by a mile. And if the best version, or better yet, a weaker version of Ryan Terry won the Olympia last year, and we're seeing this, because we didn't see this last year, but we're seeing this now, fuck, dude. Ryan Terry is still your new champion. That's just my predictions. Full video coming very soon on who I actually think is going to be in that top 16. Stay tuned. But Ryan Terry, he's coming. And he is not hiding. And speaking of all the athletes who are coming for Ryan Terry's job, the qualification window has officially closed. That means we have a solidified roster for the 2025 Mr. Olympia after this past weekend's Better Bodies Classic. Now, before we get to that show, I want to quickly break down the fact that we have 79 athletes qualified for the Mr. Olympia in the 2025 season. So when I think of it in that perspective and I see this image here, I completely understand why the point qualification system has been implemented, because I don't care who you are. If you're a fan, if you're a judge, and certainly if you're an athlete backstage, because I have been in all of those positions, minus judging one, where I have been sitting there and saying, this is way too much. And I'm somebody who loves the division, knows these athletes personally, and has a vested interest in watching. And it's still boring. So the fact that we're going to have a 35, 40-ish people at the Olympia next year is already going to make it so much more exciting and so much more prestigious. But 79 athletes, 23 countries will be represented at this year's Olympia. And there's going to be a lot of people, man. And even though there's almost 80 people qualified, it's kind of crazy to think that this will likely be a lot of people's last opportunity stepping on the Olympia stage. And you know, the craziest part about this whole thing is, even though the Olympia qualification point system is, I think, a overall good thing for the men's physique division and just bodybuilding in general, it's kind of crazy to think that this list is going to be cut in half next year. And the people who are in that back half, there's a good chance that they might never make it to the Olympia ever again. So whether it's your first time or, you know, you've been to the Olympia stage multiple times but never really broke into the conversation, you know, this might just be the last year that you see people who are recognizable names and faces in our division grace the Olympia stage. You know, it's humbling, and it's also going to force you guys to be extremely strategic in order to get back to the stage, because it's not going to be as easy, you know. But I will say this, the cream will always rise to the top. And this year, the 2025 Mr. Olympia, it's going to be no different. You're going to see some dogs go head to head. I'm so excited to see the Ben Quills, the Jeremy Buendias, the Brandon Hendricksons, the Aaron Banks, the Emmanuel Hunters, Ali Bilals, and everybody else going to war. The last qualifying opportunity for the 2025 Mr. Olympia took place this past weekend at the Battle of the Bodies in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and Ricardo Sinet is your newest and last qualified Olympian stepping on that stage in Las Vegas. Now, Ricardo had a crazy season. He competed in Pittsburgh, where he went against Aaron Banks, where he went against Edwin Palmero, Vitor Chavez, and Brandon Hendrickson, placing just behind what was crazy packages from those other guys. But that was without a doubt the best version that I've ever personally seen of Ricardo. And then he stepped on stage just a week later at the New York Pro, going against who? Brandon Hendrickson, Andre Dayu. And though it wasn't the best version of Ricardo, he still found himself in that conversation. And then we saw him show face in Alabama at the Body B1 Classic, where he went against a on-fire version of Ruben Glass, not only just coming off of a win 24 hours, but then bringing an even better package and defeating him at that show. And then we saw him take some time and step back on stage just a couple weeks ago at the Sarasota Pro. And yes, even though Ricardo looked good. It wasn't enough to overpower Alex Rogers, who was also finding himself in the winning circle a lot more often. And then the last opportunity, the battle of the bodies. And he showed up and showed out and brought what was a very comparable package to what I thought was the Pittsburgh Pro package. Now, even though Ricardo looked absolutely amazing, and he is just one of those freak factors, right? There's still a lot that he needs to improve on in order to move up at the Olympia, because he is a guy with insane structure. He's just a bigger guy, freaky factors, but there's still holes because of how wide he is. And once he nails his posing, which I do think he did a much better job at this show compared to the last one, he's going to be dangerous, guys. But I want to quickly break down the other top contestants. I'm going to give them some love. And the one guy who really impressed me was your 6th place finisher in Joseph Meslam, a guy who just came off of winning the overall to 2025 North American Championships. And he had just an overall beautiful, polished look. And then coming in at 5th place, we have Brandon Cantaloupes, a guy who has been in those conversations to qualify for the Olympia. And though he didn't necessarily nail the package here, it was much improved from the one he did just a couple weeks ago at the Sarasota Pro. Brandon is dangerous, guys. I stood next to him. I know his potential. He just needs to continue to maximize it. He doesn't necessarily need to get any bigger at all. Just continue to get conditioned, continue to dial down. He has great detail. Once he is at his best on stage, he's going to be very, very hard to stand next to. And then we have Hoshima. We just talked about him, also competing at the Sarasota Pro, the most conditioned guy that I think I've ever seen in person, outside of Ryan Terry and Ali Bilal. But absolutely insane, full in all the right areas, still not confident that this man fits the men's physique division criteria, but he fits under the weight cap. So like I said, just an overall insane and a very impressive physique. And then coming in at 3rd place, we have Rick Flex. And not only does he have the best board shorts on stage, but he looked amazing. I didn't really know much about him before this show, but looking at his physique here, dangerous. Keep an eye out, man. I'm excited to see what a physique like his is rewarded in the men's physique division. And then we have your 2nd place finisher in Trillist. I'm just going to call him by his Instagram name. I feel like everybody knows each other by their Instagram name at this point, but he looked insane as well. Again, a little bit more slim, a little bit more of a fuller chest in order to maximize his potential, but a great back, crazy density through the erectors. And again, he came in condition. And when this guy fully nails it, puts on the tissue that he needs in order to stand next to some of these bigger guys like a Ricardo Sinet, I'm telling you guys, get ready. It's a lot of rising stars coming in the men's physique division, a lot of guys with potential, and it's up to them to see if they can maximize it. And now that you guys are caught up on all things men's physique, I want to take a quick second to thank each and every single one of you guys for the consistent love and support on this channel. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button. I know a lot of you guys are consistently watching the videos, showing mad love, but you don't even realize that you're not subscribed. And make sure you turn on the post notification bell so you're notified at every new upload. And also, guys, thank you for your patience. I know I typically upload on Tuesdays, but again, with me being sick this week, I wanted to make sure that I was bringing the proper energy that this week in men's physique was needing and warranted of, because it was so much excitement going on. And I'm telling you guys so much. I just can't wait to continue to bring you guys the best content I possibly can. And thank you guys for, bringing me into your routine on a weekly basis. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And until the next video, peace.